Hey guys, before you get into the video, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified of when I upload videos. Also, all my social medias will be down in the description below. Enjoy the video, guys. Alright guys, so how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. I had this broad idea that maybe I should make a video on all my fish tanks. So you guys should be expecting 4 separate videos, one for each fish tank, starting off with today's episode, the 36 gallon. This is our biggest fish tank that we currently own right now, and is... my ring light just went off. Not sure what that was about, it just kind of went off. But anyway, it's gonna be this whole thing. I want to go through all the fish that we have in each fish tank, and then I want to go through, like, basically take you guys through a walkthrough, showing you how we clean our tanks. So in our 36 gallon, we're gonna start off with the 7 neon Tetras inside of there. These guys are just incredible little guys, great for smaller fish tanks. These guys, you could have up to 5 of them in a minimum of a 5-gallon tank. So these guys live around 1 to 5 years, which isn't, you know, incredibly long, but it's a nice long amount of time. So you get plenty of time to, you know, enjoy your neon Tetras. And like I said, these guys are just very hardy, they're healthy fish. Next off, we have a whole bunch of just assorted fancy guppies. Honestly, I've lost count of these guys because there's so many of them, but these guys, they're really pretty. They're tiny, but their lifespan's around the same as neon Tetras, about 1 to 5 years. And you can see all the differently colored ones in our tanks as well, and they're called fancy guppies because of the, you know, the fancy markings. So now moving on, we also have 2 pearl Gouramis. These guys are absolutely beautiful, and you can see why they're called pearl Gouramis. It's the way they look. They look like they got a bunch of little pearls all over them. They're really pretty, and they're also nice and hardy. You can find them just about anywhere. I'm starting to see them a lot more in a lot more big box stores as well. Not in as good condition as ours are, but pretty close, and they're just as gorgeous. So I 100% recommend these guys. Just a great freshwater fish. But bear in mind, these guys do need, I believe, 20 gallon or larger. I might be wrong. If I am, let me know in the comments. But I do believe they need a minimum of at least 20 gallons, but I think they might need more than that. I just know that they need a slightly larger tank. But these guys do live a while as well. I do believe they live around 5-ish years, but again, I could be wrong. I'm a little rusty. Now, this one I know is going to be a little controversial, but we do have it in here. It is a puffer. Now, I don't know if this one's a figure 8 or it's another breed. It gets about 6-ish inches, and they do live somewhere between 5 to 15 years. But these guys are preferably brackish water. We also do have 3 snails in there. 2 of them are just apple snails, 1 a jumbo albino apple snail, and 1 just a regular golden apple snail. These guys are absolutely gorgeous. Again, we love snails. Okay, they're not the most active things in your tank, but they're great if you just want something to just kind of help clean up a little bit around the inside of the glass and, you know, clean up some of the algae around. But make no mistake, they're not going to clean it all for you. You can't be lazy about your fish tank. At least once a week, I always recommend that you do maintenance on it, which you're about to see here in a little bit. Moving on to the angelfish. We have about 3 of these guys. 2 of them are small assorted fancy angelfish, and 1 of them is a half koi and half small assorted fancy angelfish. This specific breed of angelfish, and this goes for the 3 that you're looking at right now, require a minimum of at least 29 gallons or larger. Since they get about 6 inches tall, they need a little more space, so a 36 gallon is a pretty great place to have them in. I wouldn't normally recommend having 3 of them in there, but we do our maintenance on this 36 gallon about twice a week. So for us, it's okay. But anyhow, these guys are just absolutely amazing. They're breathtaking to watch, and you can see the one in the middle, Montero. He's just the main attraction, that little guy. He's crazy. He's always trying to get your attention. Even if you're a stranger, he just really loves attention, and he's just a gorgeous little guy. We love Montero. We also have quite a few cories in here. You can see we have a few peppers, a couple albinos, and we do also have this one. I don't remember the name of it. I probably should have looked that up before shooting this. Cories are also another great option for bottom dwellers. They go wonderful in your tank. We have quite a few of these guys, and we do also have a clown Pleco, or and you know, for the scientific name, an L104. These guys, they're basically just regular Plecos, but they stay really small, and these guys are brown and yellow, and sometimes black and yellow, as opposed to just, you know, the plain normal, you know, common Plecos you can find in any retail pet store. When it comes to clown Plecos, they really love to hide, so I wasn't really able to get a thorough shot of the clown Pleco, but he's there, don't worry. If anything, he was probably hiding in that giant coral insert in the middle. But yeah, again, absolutely great option for your tank. So guys, that just about concludes all the fish that we have in this fish tank currently right now, as of the published date of this video. But anyway, it's high about time that we really get this water change done. So I think I'm gonna take you guys over to that tank right now, and we're gonna start that. Let's get going, guys. Alright guys, so here is our 36-gallon tank. Have the camera right here so you guys can watch us doing the water change actively. I'm gonna do this for each and every tank that I clean. So as you guys now can see, the water changing process has started. So instead of using an external water pump, we'll just let the siphon suck out all the water into our buckets. That way we can just continue cleaning the sand while it sucks the water out. This way the water change can go much faster. Okay guys, so the water change is halfway done. Now, we usually always take out 50. This time it's about 45%, but as long as it's no less than that, it's usually good enough. And we have two of these buckets that will just let the siphon fill full with water, and instead of using a separate pump to take all the water out, we just let the siphon suck it all through, and yeah, thus the water change goes a lot faster. So now we're gonna take this and empty it. Okay, so this is the process that we usually go through when we do these water changes. And the way this works is we'll basically just empty all that out. So, and we do this usually multiple times, but if we're lucky enough, it'll only take 2 of those buckets. A lot of weight to carry. That's 5 gallons. Just pure water in there. What we do now is we just let that drain, and then I'll clean all that sand out. And this is just the easiest way to drain the water out. And it's also what we find is the easiest way to just kind of transport the water over here until we can afford to get one of those, you know, siphons that are capable of running from the tank all the way to the bathroom. We just run that to the faucet. But for now, this method works really well, and it's not that bad at all. It's not very tedious either. So here's the reason we had taken all the plants out. We put them all in this pitcher here, and if I lift this up right here, you can see that we had actually removed quite a bit of that, whatever that was holding the roots together, and is all kind of just sitting on this paper towel now. We do plan to take a little more out, but for now we feel like this will be good enough, and we'll be able to just throw those right back on into the tank. So I'm going to show you guys how to prepare the water that's going to go into the tank, and that's going to be using these 2 jugs right here actually, and we'll just fill them up continuously and just keep bringing them back and forth and just pouring it in here. But I'll show you what chemicals we like to usually put in them, which is only about 3 of them. So now we're at the point of the water change where we need to start preparing the water, the brand new water that's going to go into the tank now, which will conclude and wrap up our water change. So like I said before, we like to fill these guys up. But first, you always want to make sure that the water is temped, so I always like to make sure that it's at least 75 degrees. So for this thermometer, which is actually a Tetra one, I believe, I could be wrong, but you can find these at Walmart, and they're pretty affordable. And right here, right in the middle, 75 degrees, where you're looking at it right now, this is how it should look when the water is properly temped. So that's what we're going to do here. And the chemicals I like to use, first one, this is AquaSafe. This is basically just regular water conditioner. Of course, it's dechlorinator. It's also a stress coat. It protects the water, and it also, you know, dechlorinates. So about 10 mLs of this per 10 gallons. And then we also like to put in some stability and some prime. These are absolutely essential to put in the water because it makes this water fish safe. So I'm gonna put those in right now. So we're gonna go ahead and fill them up. And so I don't know why I put that in there, but the way we're gonna temp the water is we'll start off with cold water. All right, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of heat to it and get it just the right temperature, and then the water will be fully tempered. And then just stick the thermometer into the water faucet and just make sure that it's at that proper temperature. And as you can see, we are good. We're clear to go. So 75 degrees, we can fill it up. Alright, and that's the first one. Ready to go. And time for the second one. Alright. Yeah. And our waters are filled up and are ready to be poured into the tank. We'll just have to give them a good mix first before we do that, so that way all those chemicals will be properly reacting to each other. Will do their job as soon as they get into that tank. So let's get over to the tank now. So as you can see, guys, we are preparing those plants to go back in. The reason we originally took them out was to remove whatever adhesive was holding the roots together. So as you can see, we're carefully placing them back into position so that way we can start putting in the new water. Now for this 36 gallon, it took around 3 to 4 of those jugs to fully fill that water to get to the sufficient water level that we needed to be at. And that just about concludes our water change, guys. I hope this taught you a thing or two, and if it did, let me know in the comments. So be sure to like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys are notified of when the next fish tank water change videos come around. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.